Offshore drilling would not lower gas prices today. It would not lower gas prices tomorrow. It would not lower gas prices this year. It would not lower gas prices 5 years from now. So today we're announcing the expansion of offshore oil and gas exploration. In fact, you wouldn't see any full production out of any oil drilling off the coasts until 2030. It will take a generation to reach full production, and even then, the effect of gas prices will be minimal at best. Under the leadership of Secretary Salazar, we'll employ new technologies that reduce the impact of oil exploration. We'll protect areas that are vital to tourism, the environment, and our national security. And we'll be guided not by political ideology, but by scientific evidence. To drill offshore here in Florida and other places around the country would not provide families with any relief this year, next year, 5 years from now. That's why my administration will consider potential areas for development in the Mid and South Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico, while studying and protecting sensitive areas in the Arctic. That's why we'll continue to support development of leased areas off the North Slope of Alaska while protecting Alaska's Bristol Bay. Now believe me, if I thought there was any evidence at all that drilling could save people money who are struggling to fill up their gas tanks by this summer or this year or even the next few years, I would consider it. But it won't. So today we're announcing the expansion of offshore oil and gas exploration. Offshore drilling violates the bipartisan consensus that we've had for decades that has protected Florida's pristine coastline from drilling. We are going to need to harness traditional sources of fuel even as we ramp up production of new sources of renewable, homegrown energy. A policy that promotes realistic energy conservation. And when I'm president, I intend to keep in place the moratorium here in Florida and around the country and that prevents oil companies from drilling off Florida's coasts. That's how we can protect our coastline and still make the investments that will reduce our dependence on foreign oil and bring down gas prices. It means making tough decisions about opening new offshore areas for oil and gas development. That may not poll well. And I understand that Senator McCain may have looked at the polls and said, people might buy drilling or they might buy a gas tax holiday. My job is not to go with the polls. My job is to tell the American people the truth about what's going to work when it comes to our long-term energy future and how we can provide some short-term relief to families. That's what I intend to do as president as well. There will be those who strongly disagree with this decision, including those who say we should not open any new areas to drilling. But what I want to emphasize is that this announcement is part of a broader strategy that will move us from an economy that runs on fossil fuels and foreign oil to one that relies more on homegrown fuels and clean energy. Clean coal technologies, and that means building a new generation of safe, clean nuclear power plants in this country.
Thousands of it's big. 30 million.